everyone, and welcome to Auto Asphyxiation. This is Lark,
And Kimberly.
and that's right. We're in our second show of 2026,
Ooh.
and we got woohoo and all of that. I think something that's really interesting is that, like Mandami, he is, now the mayor of New York, and we're all happy, right? Like the left
I
is
thought we
very.
were.
I thought we were happy. We got what we wanted. I mean, that's all my friends say. You guys fucking got what you wanted. Aren't you fucking happy now? I was happy,
I
but
was I was happy.
I was happy too. I was like, this is rad. This is amazing. Um, and then I'm like, kind of like, okay, he was always into bicycling and public transit. He even like they had a thing, and they were like, I forgot what they talked about. It was like a meme, and he was on his bicycle. I forgot what it said, but like one of his first things, he was like on a train, and I noticed something my friend said. He was on a train, and she was like, "Well, he's on the seats for the disabled people."
But that you can sit in those seats and then when somebody disabled gets on, you get up.
I know, but I just thought, are we doing this? Are we really doing this? Because I posted a picture of him, and he's like, "Look, I'm on the train," and you're like, "Well, you're in the wrong seat." Okay, I was like, this is just this person. I'm
That
not gonna make it a thing.
that's how those seats work. Like I've sat in the disabled seat before, and soon as I see somebody that's elderly, pregnant, or disabled, I get up and give them the seat. That's how that works. It's an honor system.
Yeah, it's an honor system, so you can use the seat if somebody gets up. So anyway, that's not the point. I was looking at Streetsblog, and I thought, like, of course, Streetsblog is going to be like, oh my God, this is rad. Like, we have a person. I mean, essentially, Mandami actually went to school with, I think, the founders of Safe Streets. That could be a little bit off, but he has some kind of connection to Safe Streets. So he's very much in touch with this. I mean, he takes the train from Queens or Astoria to, when he was doing this campaign, he was always about public transit. So street blogs to like write kind of like this kind of like, oh, hero to zero streets. They did this thing called hero to zero. And
What's today's date?
today is the 12th. He's been the mayor for like at this point when they wrote the story, like less than a week.
Oh my goodness.
Less than a week. And I mean, the thing is, it's about like, they had this article about the Williamsburg Bridge. But I want to say something. This isn't even about, I'm even though I like Mandami, I think he's amazing. I'm not like a fangirl. I'm not like, oh my God, Mandami, Mandami. I'm not even like, I was always kind of like a little, I have been critical of him in the past. I wasn't just like, oh yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah, no, like he's still a politician. So I'm gonna, I think he's pretty amazing and I think he's gonna be great for New York City, but at the same time, like he's a politician, so we ought to keep, one eye open.
Well, the thing is that all politicians are representatives. So you have to hold them accountable. And I'm totally fine with that. I'm
Yeah.
totally fine with that. But the thing is that, with Streets Blog, and here's the thing, Streets Blog, we're going to be very light with you today. We're not going to do what we could do, but we're going to have a light touch today. We're just asking because I actually went on to Streets Blog Facebook page, and I was like, can you explain this article, this hero to zero meter? Is that a joke? Is that like some kind of funny haha joke?
That's right.
It's,
They have the Mamdani meter, right?
yeah. So I thought maybe it's a joke. They didn't respond. Keep in mind, I've known Streets Blog for since they've existed. Essentially, I my existence as a urban critic and their existence has been around the same amount of time. I came out with my the bus bench in like 2004, 2005, and they came up with theirs in 2006. So I predate Streets Blog. Okay, so I've been around longer than them. Just throwing that out there. But this episode really like, we're talking about like who gets to define success, who gets to decide when someone fails, and why Streets Blog is choosing at this moment um movement self-destruction over governing wins. Like I don't know, like I mean I feel like in a way like he's been in office for a week, and it's like, not like, oh, he's flawed or complicated or constrained. No, he's a zero. He's a zero. And I feel like, go ahead, we're gonna say something.
As with any politician, anybody that gets elected to be a leader, um, it takes time and there's legislature and like processes to get their campaign promises enacted. Like he doesn't possess a magic wand. If he does, like, you know, stop holding out on us, share it with the rest of us. But he doesn't possess a magic wand. He can't just wave his arm and put everything that he wants to do in practice already. Like, that's just not how it works. It's been less than a month that he's been in office.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about like this article where he like publicly defended cyclists who had broken, I don't want to say broken a traffic law, but it's kind of like they were, there was a law and they kind of were like, this is not going to work for us because the infrastructure wasn't safe. So he personally intervened. He was there when they were fixing the Williamsburg Bridge. He was actually there as they were putting in like I don't know, the blacktop. I'm not saying it right. Um, and he was saying like, hey, look, I care. Like literally day one, I'm mayor. The first thing I'm going to do is make sure that this bridge is something that bicyclists can access. Then hours later, NYPD stationed officers at that exact location and ticketed people. And Streetsblog, rather than go, oh wow, NYPD is a jerk, or show like why we should, why police reform must accompany street redesign. No, they went straight to hero to zero, and then they had to reset some Mamdani meter to zero. Like he personally hid in the bushes and was like giving people tickets. Like what was that? And it's like, okay, they're like, even if it's a joke, why would you make that joke knowing that literally every rich person in New York is coming for this man? Why would you do that?
Uh, it's baffling to me. It's baffling to me. I mean, like, he's been on the streets since like day one of his mayorship. He's been actually seen doing things. He's been doing things, a lot of things for housing. He's been doing things, like you said, for public transportation. And to hold him, yeah, we need to hold our politicians accountable, but to hold him to such a standard that no one can meet is just it's self-destructive is what it is. It's self-destructive.
And the thing is that the mayor doesn't have control over NYPD enforcement decisions. He can't go, you can't enforce that. He can't do that. I mean, and that's not how, not only does not how New York works, that's not how Jersey City works. That's not how Los Angeles works. That's not how Seattle works. And Streetsblog knows that. These aren't some like little like, cranks. These are people with like no power. They know like how civil service protections work. They know how police union contracts work. They know how the chain of command works. They understand the just how things work when we are trying to get things done. And they make it seem like, oh, if the mayor had really cared, he wouldn't have done that. This is BS. It's dishonest, and it's, to me, it's a little suspicious to me. It's a little suspicious. And like I said, this episode, we're going to be nice to you, Streetsblog, because we are also urban critics. We went after the League of American Bicyclists. We went for people for bikes. So we don't have any problem critiquing some BS.
Yeah.
But we also don't have a problem critiquing other people who we think are BS. And Streetsblog, we think it's a little bit of BS, a little bit dishonest. I'm not sure what the end game is here, but we're going to be watching you. But go ahead.
Well, like I want to know I tried to find how they were funded on the internet and I couldn't find it. But you and I had a conversation about it the other day, where their funding comes from. What I found on the internet just was a blurb about how they operate as a 501(c)(3 not for profit, like blah blah blah. They're funded by subscribers and things like that. But who are they really financed by?
And I think that, and I'll tell you something, Kimberly, because I've been in this game a while. I kind of know, but I'm like I said, I'm not gonna just start off with that. But I'm gonna say this: Mandami is not just bike friendly; he is class disruptive. See, the thing is that a lot of times with the bicycling community, and we've talked about this, there's a lot of elite capture. So we have a lot of people who essentially are in tech, who are very into bicycling. We have a lot of people who are in development, who are into bicycling. And the reason why, because you can use that to go, oh, we need to up them, we need to throw these people out of the neighborhood, we need to, you can use the bicycle and you could do all kinds of you can use bicycling and you can use that as an excuse to do all kinds of shady stuff, all kinds of market-based stuff. And the thing about Mondami is that he came out, he's like, we're gonna have universal child care, we're gonna have public bathrooms, we're gonna have free buses. He is, you know, he's not treating he's not allowing bicycling and public transit to be captured by the elite. He's literally going, how can we use this in order to help working class people? And I feel like, to me, I've always viewed street blogs a little bit suspiciously. And I'm trying to be cool with them because I've known them for 20 years. So I'm trying to be cool. But it seems like they seem to be very into bicycling when it's individualism, when it's focused on individualism, when it's focused on delivering food, when it's focused on upzoning. And of course, the whole Lycra speed fitness, all that stuff that's, League of American Bicyclists. But I feel like, if it's not about capitalism and not about building and not about raising rent, I'm kind of wondering if Streetsblog, like, what exactly is their end game here? Because why would you come from Mondami when you know I already said this, but I'm gonna say it again, if for people who don't understand, that we are in New York City, our New York Metro. We are in one of the richest neighborhoods, richest cities in the world. We have a lot of not just millionaires, billionaires here, billionaires with power. And I feel that they get very uncomfortable when bicycling becomes about working class. It becomes about collective obligation. It becomes about, like, okay, we can't go fast. Without care and access for people who don't have cars. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, what are your thoughts?
It's just, I think that the elite capture of cycling is something that needs to be stopped, and Mamdani is clearly doing it. And I think that their entire article, the meter, everything like that, I think it's disingenuous. I think it's just, it smells a little like racism to me. Um, and it seems much like more like roadie crap. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, it does. It does. It feels like roadie crap. And this is the thing. I was like always wondering. I said, it seems like to me, if you're kind of going against the grain, I think about John Fetterman and how much rope he got to hang himself. How much rope he got to hang himself. That is just, in Semina in Arizona. She was part of the Green Party. How much rope she got to, because people go, well, Fetterman had a stroke. Okay, well, Semina, I would say Semina. Semina did not have a stroke. She was fine. Why'd you give her all this rope?
Well,
I go ahead.
even in New Jersey, like Menendez. Like
Oh my
Menendez
God,
was,
yeah.
it was known for the longest time that Menendez was corrupt, and nobody ever, you never heard anybody talking any smack about him. It was just kind of like, accepted.
That the Menendez thing always drove me crazy because when I first got here, people were very much like Booker, Booker, and I was like, yeah, yeah, he's horrible, whatever. Because I'm from California, I didn't really know like the land of here. And I mean, yeah, and I've said he does things that I don't agree with, but I thought Menendez was going to be some left wing. He was going to be like some, and when I found out he's stealing gold bars, and we got nothing on him, we got no
Gold bars.
literally gold
Gold
bars.
bars, and
I
nobody
mean,
nobody was complaining about him.
yeah, he's like a little miniature Trump, like little mini Trump, and we got nothing for this dude. Like I think that was the thing that's just really weird. And I mean, I also too, I just want to like bring up the fact that like yeah, of course, the NYPD what they were doing. I'm not even trying to excuse what they're doing. Yes,
No,
selective
that's really
enforcement.
crappy.
Yeah, selective enforcement is bad. Cycling, targeting cycling while drivers kill people, bad. This is not like the issue. We're not talking about like, oh, well, you should let people stop people. That's not what we're saying. We're saying to use, why are you talking about the mayor who literally just got, like, why would you have a meter? Like this whole, like, okay, I put it this way. I hope you're making a joke and I hope that our conversation today makes you realize we don't think the joke is funny. You better get rid of that freaking Zero-to-Hero Mamdani meter because that's BS. You should have had that with Adams. You should have that with the governor of New York. You should have that with everybody. Why are you gonna have that just with him? That's ridiculous. Like to me, like why are you making this personal and weird? Like, I mean, it's just like, why would a mayor,
That part.
essentially, yeah, yeah. I mean, he literally defended cyclists. He fixed the infrastructure. He criticized car dominance. He did this publicly. So why would you go? Yeah, let me like, that's the person we should pick to do a monitor and make sure. And it's just like, you know, like I don't know. I mean, the story should be the police are messing up his game or messing up his vision, and it's like Streetsblog chose like Mamdani as the villain. Why would you not choose NYPD as the villain? NYPD is the villain here, and you
Yeah, the
didn't make that
police
clear.
commissioner is the villain here. Like that's the person that should have a meter. Like, yeah, it's not like it's like you said, it's not like Mamdani was out there himself handing out tickets with like one of those like, like hall monitor vests on from middle school.
Yeah, like with friends like that, who needs enemies? Like with friends like that, who needs enemies? And we, like to me, on the left, we need to understand that mayors, congress people, senators, they're representatives. And yes, we want to hold them accountable, but not like we don't want to sabotage people. Like it's like to me, that's my whole problem. There's pattern of accelerationists and the wealthy using far left politics, and sometimes Streetsblog seems to fit into that. In order to essentially to kind of like treat politics as a moral struggle test instead of a power struggle. So they elevate someone, demand perfection, which you can't be perfect, declare betrayal, withdraw support, move to the next target. You get nothing done. Like it's like, do you want to get things done? Because like movements that can't tolerate imperfection cannot govern. Do you want bicycling in New York that is not just delivery people? It's like, and that's another thing too. With Jersey City, remember I said it seemed like to me that all of this infrastructure was for delivery drivers and for tech. And I feel that way with New York. I know they're a little bit more. There are more people who are not just delivery drivers who are using those bike lanes. So it's going to be harder to see. But I hope people in New York see the elite capture of bike lanes and view this as something that they should be concerned about. That fighting for delivery drivers, but not fighting for their working conditions. So it's kind of like this. Well, you want to seem like you have solidarity. So you essentially fight for Uber Eats and DoorDash to be in the bike lane, but you don't fight for them to have, health care.
Or
You
a
don't fight for
union.
them. yeah. Like we should have like, oh, you can only deliver three things a hour. I mean, to me, if you want to help people, you don't help them by turning them into like essentially a wage slave on a bicycle. That's not solidarity. And I think that because of things like Streetsblog, which essentially is masquerading as a working class entity that uses a lot of the language of the left, but really is elitist publication. We can't, it's a problem, and I think that this is a conversation that we need to really have in the alt transit or bicycling public transit. We need to have a conversation about the fact that you know we are being captured by the elite, and we don't look like Sweden, we don't look like Scandinavia, we don't look like Amsterdam. We look like people who are essentially using the bike lanes to deliver rich people food. That's what our bike culture looks like.
But that's really like, especially around New Jersey, like that's what I see. I don't see people really, I very rarely see people riding to work on a bicycle, in at least around my neighborhood. Mostly it's delivery drivers.
Yeah, exactly. And movements that cannot tolerate imperfection can't govern. They can protest forever. They can, essentially, what they tweeting it now. We call it X on X. X can,
I don't,
they can tweet forever. They can write scalding editorials forever, but they can't build durable change. They don't want change. That's the thing. They don't want regular people riding a bike. They don't want a governor a mayor that will allow people to ride their bike to work or ride, and it's everyone. They don't want a mayor that gives people universal child care. They don't want a mayor that goes, you can't make money on housing. Like all of these things for people, the kind of people who sit on the board at Streetsblog is a threat. And I mean, we're bringing this up. And the thing is that I want to be really clear to Streetsblog. We're being nice. I know what you're doing. I could call out names. I'm not right now. Because I'm assuming that you'll hear this and you'll go, oh, you know what? We're going to correct ourselves. I want you to give yourself a chance to correct yourself. Because everybody can go to Streetsblog, to Open Plans, and see who runs it. Okay? We're not, some of us don't need your money. Okay? I mean, it's not a lot, but some of us don't need your money. And we can actually call out what you're doing. And, the thing is, this is that, we understand that you're very entangled with tech, with real estate, and with disruption as value. But Mamdani is not about disruption. He's about repair. Like talking about the bathrooms. Bathrooms are not disruptive. Childcare is not disruptive. Bus lanes are not disruptive. They're boring. And they are collective. And this is the whole thing. It's like, I understand that a lot of people don't want that. They don't want these things because it's not clickbaitable. You can't clickbait it. You can't, you
can't
can't go ahead.
set an algorithm for a collective.
No, yeah, you can't do an algorithm for a collective. You are essentially, he's doing something much different than what they expected from a New York mayor. And I'm hoping this was just a joke, a one-time joke that they never tell again.
I hope I hope so too, because it's really like it's almost masochistic self-destruction. Like, and you do really like you bring up a lot of good points, a lot of good questions. And I just think it's so ridiculous to expect so much out of a person in such a short amount of time. Like I can't get over that fact. Like,
Well, this is the whole thing. If Streetblog continues to undermine allies in their first week, confuse like enforcement inertia with betrayal, treat government like vibe checks, they're going to make sure the next mayor is going to be like, screw you guys.
yeah.
Screw you, screw transit, screw doing anything that's going to do it. Because the thing is, you can't please you. You can't please you. So why would I try to work with you? Because you're not reasonable. Like it's I think this is the whole like I understand that as a person in the media, you want to get people to read what you write, but I, here's the thing. In my own head, I've always thought Streetsblog, in regards to them being media, was always a kind of an iffy prospect. I do editorial media. They do something different. I know that they've gotten lots of awards, but also they've got a lot of money. So when you get a lot of money, all of a sudden you get a lot of awards. So this is not like, you know, yeah. So like I said, I think that this is, kind of like with um, the League of American Cyclists. We kind of like brought something up, and we brought it up, and then we hope, we know League of American Bicyclists are not going to change, but I feel like with Streets Blog, I feel like they have an opportunity to course correct, and I hope that they do course correct, because this is week one, and this whole like we need to hold him accountable. This is, to me, this accelerationist, this disaster patriarchy. This is not going to work. I need for them to, like, slow their roll, whatever you call it.
Yes.
I'm like, I don't know, something like that. Calm the hell down. Is work
Give
with him.
give him some time. They just moved into Gracie Mansion today. Like
It,
that's how new he is at his job.
that's like sparkling new. But I mean, I love the fact that he's not letting it bother him. I like the fact also that her name was Weaver. I think her name is Weaver. He's keeping his housing czar. I shouldn't use that term.
I know. There's so many czars in the United States of all sorts of different things now. Like, why?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to call her C Weaver. They kind of came for her, and they got like every single bad picture that they could, and I thought that was just really just wild. I'm like, it's like, did they just like wait, like let her do a video, and then like wait till she did this, and then like took a picture? I was like, what the hell is that? Because it's like, I swear to God, they got the worst pictures of her, and she does not look like she's insane. But literally, they figured out a way to get every angle that was like, they're like, she was crying. I'm like, whatever. Anyway, so I'm glad he stood by her, and he like kind of stayed, because to me, oh, talking about the bias within housing and how people shouldn't literally have to die because their parents aren't rich. I don't think that's a bad thing. His
I
other
think it's a
person,
great thing.
yeah, it's a great thing. The other person who was just an anti-Semite, who was just like saying like crappy things. Yeah, that's why you got like, why is he standing by her? I'm like, because she didn't say anti-Semitic racist shit. I mean, that's different. Like her.
Vastly different. And he said all throughout his campaign that like if he won, he would meet with like the individual heads of all the departments and if what they were doing was working, why change what is working?
Exactly. And like I said, I want to bicycle. I want to have accessible bicycling in all of New York, and I feel that he can get us there. And because of that, I need for Streets Blog to back off a little bit because I need to be able to ride my bike in Manhattan, in Brooklyn. I'm probably not going to go to Queens, but
Queens can be fun.
the Bronx has a lot of hills, though. Have you
R-
been to the Bronx? Oh yeah,
Not
you're from the Bronx. I'm sorry,
yes.
you and Dulcie are from the Bronx, and it's like all these hills. I
It's all
always
these hills. Yeah. Yeah.
like I always feel like the Bronx is. You know why the Bronx is in danger? Because you can't flood in the Bronx,
Yes.
and so because of that, it's going to look, especially too with the micro mobility, with the little scooters and the little bicycling stuff, you are truly going to have the Bronx being worth a lot of money at this point. And Streets Blog needs to be proactive instead of being a screamer pillar. Like,
Y-
really, stop being a screaming pillar, because that's what they are. They're being screaming pillars, and I'm like, I expected more from you than that. And with that, well, what are the final things you would like to say, Kimberly?
Well, I think that yes, we have to hold our elected leaders accountable, but we also have to view them for what they are, which is human beings. Who have to go through a process. Nothing happens instantly, but Americans are trained to have that instant gratification. Like Streetsblog reminds me of a person who just placed an order on Amazon and it instantly peeks out the window to see if it's there yet. Like that's how they're treating, like Mamdani's like brand new job. Um, we're trained for that and it's not realistic.
It's not realistic, and the reason where your package is because the last mile is actually delivered by the U.S. Post Office. That's where your package is. And it's kind of the same thing was going on with Madami. That's where your package is. It's with the union job that's trying to get it done, and you just relax. And with that, you guys have a great rest of your evening. Please subscribe to our channel. You can also go to the website sprawlism.com, because I'll tell you something. If we had a website called Auto Asphyxiation, I don't know if we would get the right people coming there. Or maybe we
We d-
would. The right people for wrong reasons.
yeah.
But we're the only people who come up when you put auto asphyxiation. So that's it.
Thanks for listening.